Being a research student is an exciting prospect which also has some challenges. When you begin your research journey, you will not know everything that's ahead of you. That's why your supervisor or supervisors are there to support you. Developing a positive relationship with your supervisors is very important. You need to work on this relationship. This video gives you some ideas on how to work together to create a positive partnership. Naturally, you will have expectations of your supervisors. Your supervisors will also have expectations of you as their student. All of you have responsibilities as well. How you work together on aligning these expectations and responsibilities will make a difference to how you experience your research journey. Let's look at some supervisor expectations. Generally, supervisors will expect you to develop independence and take responsibility for your research, including upskilling if necessary, know the processes that you need to follow, attend regular meetings, which are important to keep momentum, ask questions when you need help, and seek feedback on your work, consider and follow advice when given, submit work as agreed in your meetings, and be honest about your progress. You will have expectations of your supervisors too, such as expecting that they will be accessible when you need them, so that you are supervised throughout your research, read your work well in advance of meetings, be friendly, open and supportive, be constructively critical, have a good knowledge of the research area, allow for the free exchange of ideas, take an interest in your research and guide you to the right kinds of information, and encourage you to complete your research degree. While you and your supervisors have expectations of each other, you also both have responsibilities towards each other. The supervisor is responsible for giving guidance and timely feedback on your topic, PGR9 proposal, the appropriateness and rigour of the methodology, and later on, the thesis presentation, maintaining regular contact with you, ensuring that the research complies with AUT's ethical requirements, talking through any relevant intellectual property aspects of the intended research, assisting with your timeline and adjusting it to ensure continual progress, and providing timely and constructive feedback on drafts. You have responsibilities too, including being familiar with policies, procedures and regulations, working with supervisors to plan and maintain regular contact, keeping up with the agreed timeline of progress and completing regular progress reports, raising problems, issues and concerns, sharing responsibility for problem solving, following AUT's intellectual property policy, and identifying the skills that you need and learning them through workshops and professional development. One way to get to know your supervisor is through the conversations you have when completing the supervision agreement. The supervision agreement needs to be done early on in your research. When you sit down with your supervisors to work through the supervision agreement, it's a good opportunity to talk through expectations, responsibilities, how to plan ahead for meetings, and so on. As things change over time, the supervision agreement can be adjusted to align with those changes. Moving forwards, you can make a difference by taking action to manage your own research journey. There are a number of things that you can do, such as establishing expectations about how and how often you will communicate, including how often you will meet and how you will report on your progress. Proactively seeking feedback to ensure that you stay on track. Listening carefully to your supervisor when they give advice. Having realistic discussions about your goals and when you think you can achieve milestones. And being honest with yourself and your supervisor about how much progress you're making. You can also plan to make your supervision meetings productive by preparing for the meeting, particularly by thinking of any problems you need to address and the solutions you wish to seek, and setting a clear agenda to send to your supervisor in advance. Be punctual and take notes in the meeting so that you have a record of what was discussed. Before concluding the meeting, determine your action points. That is, the things you need to achieve before your next meeting. If you are unhappy within your supervisory team, then identify the problem as soon as possible and talk to an objective listener. The Postgraduate Handbook, which is available online, has guidelines on what you can do. Ask your supervisor if you are unsure as to why they are advising something about your research. When you talk to your supervisor, it pays to be tactful, but also direct and assertive. You'll get further if you can avoid blame. If you feel more comfortable, you can talk to someone in the Graduate Research School, or your Faculty Postgraduate Coordinator, or Associate Dean Postgraduate. Remember that this is your research and your thesis. You are ultimately responsible for its completion. For more guidance on working with your supervisor, you can come to our full workshop. You can book online via elab or scan this QR code to go straight to the listings for this workshop.